Hi guys, I'm working on annual 2019 Taroscopes. They're actually lots of fun. They give you lots of insight about every single segment of your life, and it's kind of like divided by quarters. It's divided by section of your life, and it's going to be a really interesting guide. It was really well received last year. So now this is your time to get them one sign for 1995 or all signs. So you can check your ascendant, you can check your moon sign, you can check your friends, you know, somebody that you're like having an eye on for $39.95. It is a really good time to order right now, because the moment when I deliver the first one, the price is going up to $29.95 and to $39.95. So yeah, I invite you to order. Like, the link is down in the description. You can see it, you can go right there, and this is like really good time to take advantage of. So for those of you who are steady subscribers, please, you know, do that. It's great for you, it's great for me to support my channel. And those of you who are here the first time, you can actually check my timelines, and you can see I released them somewhere late in July, so you can see how they look like. Okay guys, so let's start with the reading. Yes, Aquas, I think Madame wanted me to do Aquarius prior to Capricorn. And what is this, a yoga pose? And as you can see, cats like their mice, and doesn't matter if it's a real or not real. You keep switching the window from me by pushing these buttons, so I need to know if this is recording or not. So a little aqua girl coming to aqua reading. So Aquarius, yes, I did meditation. What we are getting is spite. I don't know why this came through, but look at this. If I just do this, what's happening with the mouse? Are you going to be spiteful, Ms. Aqua? No? Okay, that's good news. So we'll see why this message came through. Why is this coming through? So let's get a few more cards. Aquarius for November 2018. And we're having the outsider card. What else? What else? I'm going to zoom this in while I still have access to the mouse before somebody else takes it over. Okay, we have that as ocean, ebb and flow. Well, outsider, isn't this like totally us? We always are an outsider. We're always wondering, what the heck? I am dedicated to mankind, I'm dedicated to all that, I'm doing all this stuff, so why in the world I'm getting all this kind of like weird kind of like reactions from the people? And hey, unity. So okay, so let's start. Where do I really start? Let's start from the outsider card. Look at that. There's like something that we see. Somebody's really looking into something that seems to be so nice. Look at that, almost like a cotton candy. Look at all these beautiful rainbow colors. And how sad is when we feel we kind of like do not belong there, right? And it's almost like somebody who is not possibly even rich, somebody who kind of like maybe is looking into, hey, you know what, I'm never going to kind of like get into this situation. I kind of like really want to be there. Let me just peek. Let me just like see what's going on there. Now, if you really look closer, look at that chain. Can you see it? It's actually open. So what is this saying? What is really stopping us of moving forward, right? It is a small child, and there's like somebody who definitely, this child is convinced that he or she cannot get through. But you know, all he has to do or she has to do is to open it, right? So it's really telling me that maybe we feel left out or excluded. And maybe we are even feeling like a hopeless or helpless little child. This kind of like usually is a feeling that triggers our very early experiences. And Aquarians do tend to be like that. We love people. That doesn't mean we want to be around them, right? We love to help. That doesn't mean that, you know, we are going to kind of like kill ourselves other with this. There's like here still something that needs some kind of like organizing. I had that really interesting dream. For the last 8-9 days I was like almost like in a meditative stage, and that dream that just happened a few days ago was like, whoa, you know, I was dying in my dream. I was like younger, and it was not my time, and I was not upset. I was like very calm. Okay, I'm going to the hospice and they're going to give me all these meds. Like, what the heck that could mean? I was like almost like, hey, this is just a part of everything. It was like really not worrisome. And the best part of it, I had like my little kind of like fitness tracker, which was like sort of like time left. It was like almost reminding me of some kind of, I don't know which movie was that, where they had this time, how much energy they had to work to kind of like earn their energy. You can tell I like sci-fis, but this is like who we are as Aquas. So we need to kind of recognize here possibly root of the feeling. Maybe we are spiteful. Maybe we are trying to cover this because it's not a good feeling. It's not how we want to come across. Maybe we are coming across as spiteful. The question is, why are we coming across as spiteful? What and where we cannot get through? Do we really want to get through? Do we really want to be a part of where we are not wanted? Or we are just like simply blocking ourselves from, you know, going in a direction which probably would be beneficial for us, right? So this is really telling me, guys, you need to stop tormenting yourself. There's like this essence of not being enough or good enough, and this is stemming from somewhere really from the past. I really think we maybe have few disconnected parts of us. Maybe the Unity card really talks about, hey, you kind of like need to kind of like pull it together. It says you are on a journey of ever increasing growth. Move toward unity. Well, unity is really appealing card, especially for us Aquarians. Unity is kind of like feeling as union. Yes, Sephi. Yet having our own individual vibration that we can contribute to that, right? It's kind of like also the three of that we see here, which kind of like is very spiritual number as well, and it's kind of like the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit kind of a thing, right? So those three spiral basically, you know, holds spirals kind of like they hold a key to the integrity and to kind of what kind of world we really want to be, as sort of like birth and death and rebirth. It's kind of like really kind of like pushing it together. So which phase are we at? So this is really telling you that maybe we had enough of something. Maybe we have been holding some kind of resentment. There is like definitely a journey of integration and of growth, and this kind of like cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, just like it was in my dream and kind of like this happened. This is really talking, it's a reminder that we have everything within us to make us complete, right? We are kind of like currently actually going through the phase of renewal, and some new things are kind of like being born with us, and parts of us that we don't need are dying back, but something else is happening. We are going through Scorpio transition. So this is they're guided by Death card. We really kind of like have a real relationship with Scorpio, in a sense, vibrational relationship with Scorpio, and probably we are feeling this kind of integrity. And they're saying when the cats lick themselves, we're inviting people in. Maybe this was the thing. Maybe we didn't, maybe we simply didn't invite people in. Maybe we felt inadequate, right? So moving on is a part of the journey. So we need to give thanks to the past. If past was particularly painful, then more so give thanks, because that pain probably at this point taught us something. We need to kind of like live in the now, and we need to kind of like welcome the new. Yes, you want this card, and this card is of an ocean, and it says ebb and flow, and I think she really needs this more than I do, right? And so it's kind of like really interesting, because this is kind of like moon affected, right? Because the tides of this water rise and fall in kind of like regular rhythms, right? And then we have these waves that kind of like continue to roll to the shores, right? It's kind of like, seems to be perpetual and endless pattern. It's just like, you know, something that has been going for so many millions of years, right? This is something also that is predictable, and it is also something that is creating majority. Oceans create, I think, 70% of this planet, right? And water and the shifting tides are actually influencing our mood. So it's really telling me that we need to, and that's the problem with air signs, we do have the intellect, we like to be in the know, we are able to research information, but when it comes to experiencing our own emotions, we are so proud, we rather block ourselves off than admit vulnerability. Somebody would just like fall down and just like grab their knee where they're scratched and say ouch and oh, and you know, ask for a hug. We would just like get up and go, right? Even though we are still hurting. So this is really telling me that, you know, allow that life to kind of like integrate a little bit deeper, right? We have to go through that ebb and flow that looks like we have been fighting, and we have been denying our hurt, our anger, and even sorrow. And maybe this is done in a way that we were kind of like involving ourselves to people who were not nourishing, or that we did not respect ourselves and we're putting other people ahead of us all the time. So constricting ourselves is kind of like also constricting ourselves from experiencing our own emotions. And it looks like maybe there is like, especially because I see these two things, and when I see ocean and spite, I kind of like keep thinking about message in a bottle. And I keep thinking something being bottled up, something that really needs to go out. The message, hello, open the bottle and read the message. You can open this gate, you can go wherever you want. Why are we feeling limited? Why are we feeling disconnected from the others? So, okie dokie, let's see what else do we have over here. So we have, oops, romantic. Okay, romantic feelings, and yet we have Seven of Sea. So the first major arcana that comes here, wow, look at that, is Demon Cat. So just as I kind of assumed, we are maybe dealing with our own demons. We are dealing with not so nice aspects of who we are. Maybe where we can be fierce. And when are we fierce? It's generally when, you know, that was like just like the straw that broke the camel's back, when it's just like too much is too much. But how come that other people didn't get it? Why did we not walk away from the situation before we got to that state? This also talks about issues with how we treat relationships. It talks about possibly exes kind of like coming through. It talks about dealing with somebody who has somebody on the side, and there are issues in order to realize the relationship. This really talks about the bad kitty that is like really getting the birdie over here. And it's fierce. It's really Matrix. It's kind of really interesting because I'm reading this on Halloween, and here we have like this fierceness. On Halloween, nothing appears as it is, right? We all live fantasy. We all live illusion. So what was the fantasy we lived in? Did we have a little girl dream? Did we wanted something for ourselves and that was just not happening? We always like fell short. Seven of Cups is like that wish card, kind of like where different possibilities are created. But this here can be reversed. So it looks like that we have been left without options. We have been left in a situation that was really, really hard to remedy. It says your feelings are real and worth exploring. It's really telling you that maybe for a while we were just a little kind of like bottle in the ocean. We were moving back and forth, almost like lifeless, almost like without hope. Our basically sign is represented with the star, and the star is all about hope. And I really, really think that part of that was that we need to deal with something hidden, with some emotions, with some old resentments, with some old things, maybe with partners. Maybe we need to clear the things, right? As I told you about my dream, it was obviously very clear this is for me. I would like to hear how many of you have it, and here you can watch the company that we have. So let's see what else, and I hope I didn't stop it. Okay. Ace of Earth. This is lovely. Look at this big print. Somebody's putting the print on life. Somebody is saying, this is mine, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow forever. It's really big. Hello guys, rejoice. It is a new beginning. This ebb and flow, yes, we were a little kind of like bottle in this ocean. We were like flying over anything. We are trying to find somebody who is going to understand it. Well, now somebody found that, and the effort we were actually placing is finally going to go somewhere. This is like my favorite ace. It's really talking about long term. It's talking about longevity. It's talking about growth and healthiness and impact. So it could be even something big that maybe we didn't feel that we are getting anywhere in life, but this is saying not only if we are getting somewhere, but that something is going to be so big that it is going to stay there way past us. This is crossed with 10 of C. I think the fly in the ointment kind of is the family. Maybe we have issues with family members. Look at this lovely, happy family over here. Right? Mother with a kitten and a father with kittens. It is like an idyllic atmosphere. They have their own, I don't know what is this, solarium, gazebo over here, and it just like really looks like overwhelmed with emotion. Even the little kind of like crab over here is not feeling threatened over here. So this came reversed over here. It's really telling me that, as I said, putting that brave face on, it looks really something that we have learned, possibly as a defense system. Is like something okay? Is something wrong? No, I'm fine. And don't worry, I'll get over it. So when was the last time, guys, that you kind of like gave yourself that I love you, I care for you? Like when was the last time, if ever, that that was done? It is like very, very important to recognize that. So just, you know, just persist and keep doing what you're doing, because it's really, really, really important. So what we left behind, we have Earth Queen. Earth Queen. It's not Queen of Swords. Usually Queen of Swords is like something that is assigned to our sign. But could this mean that we, being a fixed sign, we have been that one, reliable, always there for somebody, always there to give and give and give, something that we work really, really hard. maybe we have been dealing with somebody who is married. Maybe we have been dealing with somebody who maybe didn't deserve our attention, or maybe we were foolish enough to give it to somebody who maybe didn't know how to basically, you know, return it back, or how to even kind of like relate to us in that manner. It could be somebody who is not experienced in relationships. Maybe it's us, but maybe it could be them. But this also tells me that it was like something about the self-care. It was like something about this kind of loving spirit, because look at how she looks. She's like a pretty Persian cat who kind of like understands that she kind of like likes to sit on her throne. She likes to enjoy everything. Look at this lavender, look at this kind of like beautiful, probably hibiscus flowers over here. But she also has this beautiful deep eyes going in, right? And it was like something that we are still looking something from the past. And it's kind of like weird. I guess we are pre-Mercury retrograde. It's clearly telling me, so probably she's looking in these romantic feelings over here that have reappeared. It's really telling me that maybe something has happened that blocked us of expressing ourselves who we are. And even though we have connection with emotion, not something that really easy comes to us, at the same time we were putting brave face. It could tell me about pain, and maybe this pain was covered with spite, right? It was covered with this kind of like prickly, kind of like on the outside, kind of like chasing, cutting people left and right in order to kind of like move forward. Let me see. We have a Fire Queen, so that's good. Maybe we are no longer that reliable and nice and always there for you, and yet we are being pushed in the friend zone as a result. Maybe we are going to be exciting and fun-loving and welcome back to life all over again. This is really telling me that for some of us, it felt like that life was passing us by, and that we started to being resigned to that destiny, and we are not allowing that anymore. It is kind of like really, really clearly where we really need to go forward. This has to do something with family members. That could be the family members or really dear ones, or a husband or wife. It's somebody who maybe had that kind of suppressing kind of like ability on us. So what's above us? Whoa, the Tower. Well, how can be Aquarius reading without the Tower? It's a good card though. The Tarot card always talks about creating a new consciousness. And when I connect these cards, this is really telling me a good story. Like nothing is really mild about air signs, and especially not about the sign of Aquarius. We do not like boundaries. We do not like that we feel harshness. We are all for unity, where this whole universe belongs to everybody. So sometimes we need to upset that status quo. It could be us who are just like simply getting a big backbone and just saying no more. I'm going to change things, and things are not going to be ever like they have been before, because this kind of like feeling which is still palatable, that I can still taste, you know, like those kind of like defining moments in life where you can just taste them and experience everything that has been around you. Well, when the Tower shows up, it talks about change, sudden change though, not necessarily pleasant, but it's almost like skin shedding. It's a skin, a snake shedding its skin. It's something new and fresh that really emerges. I think we need to reintegrate. Could it be that we isolated, and now it is a time to stop with this? Because we are meant to move forward. We are meant to release things that, you know, have been there with us, because they are not serving purpose. We are supposed to be this gorgeous and fun-like and life of the party, and people want to be with us the way we were, right? We always have this quality. You can put an Aquarian in the room and everybody's going to kind of like realize there's an Aquarius in the room. They're not going to name it that way, but it's going to be something curious and something different. You're not going to give steady answers. You're not going to be as advertised as expected. It's going to be one of those surprise packages where on the surface we look normal, right? But under the surface, it is way different. And we are waking up. So good morning, Aquarius. So let's see where that's heading. Yay! Look at this 10 of sky. Maybe this is a situation we need to be behind. It was like something really bad. Look at that. Feeling attacked. But not only attacked, but almost broken. It almost like this was the 11th hour of, you know, this kitty. Like the eye is lost. You know, tail is broken. Scratches everywhere. He's like really thinking, I'm going to die. And also there is the thunder to boot and rain. It's a very, very bad situation to be in. Something dark, something hopeless, something helpless. It is reversed. So we are getting out of this darkness. Like, right, the seed is 2 tens and the 1, the shift is going to be really strong, and the shift is going to be really, really profound. We are cutting things that doesn't work anymore. It's going back to layers and layers and layers. Whatever you think it was the last thing that you remember, think back where you felt similar way, and you're going to realize that we just manifest people in our life who kind of like are telling us, hey, knocking 3 times, you need to deal with this, you need to affect this, you need to kind of like resolve this. So our emotions, the sun. This is a lovely card of the sun. It's a very different because it doesn't have a little kind of like kitten riding a horse. We see here the circle of the sun. We also see the worshipping kind of like creature, and we see the real sun, and also the sun here. Sun is all around. But what is really to me striking about this card is that some people are in the circle. Some people we have fun with, but they're sort of like on the arm's length. Some people are not coming to our circle at all. Sort of like these are our attitudes, these are kind of our hopes, that's where we are going, that's who we want to be, right? It is reversed, so we are still kind of like waking up. We are still maybe wondering if we are on the right path. This is clearly saying we are. This is like one of those best cards, and even if it is reversed, it's possibly not such a scorching burning sun. It's kind of like something that is really, really nice. It is like deciding who are people who are staying, who are people who have harmed us, because even that harming us, and again this is again 10, 19, 1 and 9 is 10, it's again shifting us in a new direction. This is like literally you're putting a seed in the spring soil, and you're watering it, and all of a sudden you're seeing it sprouting, and after sprouting it's kind of like this plant that is kind of growing and creating flowers and fruits. It's that beginning, like from the get-go we had the beginning. It's the new thing, it's a new feeling. So we need to do lots of releasing. It's a Scorpio, as I said, what doesn't work needs to die. What works and where we want to go has to go forward. I'm really glad that I'm reading this, because I'm thinking my dream right now probably means the same. And there were more details of the dream, and all makes sense now when I see it. Oh my god, that's environment. Isn't this a sad card? And yet so encouraging. And after, and isn't this what happened? Look at him. He has lost all his 9 lives. He is out of the game. This is not to say that all these things have been affected. How many people we affected with how many things. And again, this is the entire flavor. There is like something that is coming forward. There is like something that is uplifting. Something is being reborn. Something has to stay behind. It's a natural cycle of life. As sad as it is, we cannot carry the weight that no longer makes sense. We need to kind of like refresh. We need to redo. We need to go in the next stage. We need to go in a creative cycle. Guys, order my annual. It's really good price on pre-order, because we are entering year number 12, which is vibration of 3, and it's going to be creative and uplifting, and that's a really, really good actually fit for us. So hopes and fears. Good kitty. It's the karma card. So it was reversed. So I really think this is going to be about us. I really think it's going to be about reckoning. It's going to be about what kind of person we are and what kind of people we want in our life. This is a card of past lives. This is a card about which people we allow in our life and which people we don't allow in our life. This is like when you reach crossroads of life and you have options. You have many options to choose, but there are only a few good ones. The other ones are shortcuts. The other ones, maybe, you know, it's like getting to a vacation, to a really, you know, luxurious kind of thing, but it will require, like, you know, big effort and more savings. Or let's go to something immediate. It's going to kind of like make us understand that we don't want to do shortcuts anymore, and we kind of have to also look ourselves in the mirror and to see what was this inside of us that maybe we had some insecurities or fear that was colliding with who we are, that we needed to go in a direction that was like so clear and so light and so giving. So if you feel pressure, if you feel fear, if you feel anxiety, that really means that you took the wrong turn. So this is really calling, this is hopes and fears. So hope is that this finally clears. Fear is like, oh my gosh, how much more work I need to do on myself. It's kind of like that perpetual question. You guys are on the right path. This is clearly, it's really, really clearly on. Hi Matrix. Hello, Mr. Black Kitty, being the Halloween, and Black Kitty is celebrating this. So we need to put things in balance. This is like where this is going, 2 over 3 reversed, right? Hello, look at that. Aquarius is getting both kitty cats. Hey, Mr. Gorgeous. Hey, say hi to everybody. Hello. He's starting to show up more and more. I guess he felt neglected, that Safi always gets all the praise and I read to her all the comments and he gets nothing. And I found him on the 28th of October because the kids wanted to do something bad to him for Halloween. So he is the rescue kitty. Rescue kitty who was supposed to be blind because he was so badly abused, but we managed to spend months of vet care, and look at him, he's nice. So guys, things might not feel settled. Things might feel kind of like balls up in the air. Things might be dropping. As you can see, when you think you're on the right path and something black, furry interferes, things will actually ask a lot of agility in this particular month. We will have to shift gears quickly, but remember ebb and flow. Even though maybe you're lost, what did you do, sweetie? You eventually get to where we need to go. We eventually kind of like relay that message. We eventually kind of like send our thanks. We eventually get there. It just like this is again going back to our card. Do not lose your faith. So let me get one more card for sealing this reading, guys. And if the balls drop, just remember you're clearing your karma. Just remember that, you know, there is like somebody else who will be. Spite is no longer going to work because spite is a negative emotion. Spite is, I really think, also going to be a motivating factor, kind of like doing something in spite of kind of like belief. You know, when they say, ups, you know, you're not rich, you cannot do this stuff, or, you know, no, this is for somebody else, not for you. You know, sometimes people have those kind of like constraining beliefs and constraining teachings. We are not going to have any of this time around. Just like the kitty, he doesn't feel that he's much smaller, he doesn't feel that he's much weaker. No, he knows that who he is. So let's see, my dear Aquarius, what is the final message for Aquarians? And guys, you can get a reading with me through cattarot.ca. More than welcome. Can't wait. And also can't wait to hear your feelings about this kind of like transformative month, or my dream, or your dream. How's that, Aquarius? Okay, let's see. And there we go. And I got storm feels reversed. So it is a number 9. So this is really telling me about something that, look at this crossroads, that kind of like is going somewhere. So let's see, what is this about? It says, this too shall pass. Now it's not the time to engage in any activity that brings unwanted chaos or drama into your life. This kind of storm can be destructive and you'll regret your actions later. So be careful of hurtful words, because they'll be carried on the wind and bring a tornado of betrayal, anger, and unnecessary angst. Instead, find shelter. This turbulent weather will pass, and your house will be untorched and untouched. Say no to drama. Wait till the storm blows over. Only then you will be heard. That kind of like makes sense to glue these things together. Maybe there is like somebody we had high hopes for and it didn't materialize. Maybe it is something we did with the best of intentions. It turns out to be hard, harsh, and damaging. And maybe it is a time to reclaim ourselves. And since it was reversed, this storm is actually predicting our safety. We are moving into safety. And I have a feeling, guys, that we are releasing something that has been pressing and suppressing us. And we are forgiving. And that's a big thing for us to do. We are also forgetting. But we have learned what we needed to learn. We are forgetting just to benefit us, in order to understand ourselves better and to be moving in a new direction. So we are again able to feel. We are again to kind of like move with kind of like ebb and flow of life and ebb and flow of relationships. We are able to kind of go in a new direction. It's still going to be a little bit of work of releasing some old patterns and facing those old patterns. And some of us might not do it by our own volition. It might be something that's going to make us face it, or somebody's going to sit us down and say so and so and so. And it's going to be just like that. You know, we will get it. We will get it and say, oh gosh, you know, I need to do things differently. It's going to be maybe something as simple as you're typing a text answer to somebody saying something, you know, in a cutting manner, and going to just go delete, 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 right? And going to realize this is what I need to change. Or you're always there for somebody else, but when you need them, they're not there for you. Maybe you're going to say, you know, this doesn't work for me, and I really like to do that. So if you can do that, I would really, really love you, even more so for that. If you don't, I will find somebody who will actually accompany me to see the movie, to see whatever it is. You kind of like asserting ourselves, finding this kind of like backbone, finding like strong standing, finding balance, finding this unity, like almost like we are stepping into our own powers, but with that sense of having self-reflection and insight, which most people don't have, is kind of like, okay, this is something I really need to improve. Yeah, here I was not supposed to do that. I will make sure I don't do that moving forward. So it's going to be a really interesting period. I would love to hear unity and the outsider and ebb and flow, kind of like references from you. And the sun is going to shine again, guys, very, very soon. Right, Taffy? Say love you to Aquas. There you go, Aquas. We both love you. And until the next time, you know, reach me on Facebook and on Instagram, and get your reading via cattarot.ca. Love ya.